Alright, guys. It's time to do the last of this game. Single tier. But I'm so excited to finally find out what the best ending is for this cute narcissist boy. Because, I love him to bits. Okay, so we start here. This is where things start to diverge, I believe. Last time we were getting sad with the piano. The very first time. When he was still just a wee bear. And we lied to him. This time, we're gonna tell him the truth. See what happens. Well, my father was a musician. Was a musician? Don't tell me I'm afraid so. That's why I'm not fond of the piano anymore, because it reminds me of him. It brings back a lot of sad memories about how he died. I'm sorry to hear that, love. For me, music brings back good memories. It's strange, isn't it? My mother loved playing the piano, so every time I come here, it reminds me of the happy moments our family shared while my mother was still alive. Dion hopped up onto the bench and gently stroked the lid over the keys, his expression wistful. Our father was always so cheerful and kind before Mother's death. Of course, I'm the only one who remembers because Soul and Gold were still too young at the time. And the father they came to know was already the cold and heartless one. Oh, I'm just rambling now, aren't I? But it's just... I find it so easy to talk to you, Aura. It's as if I just found a long-lost friend. I smiled at him, stepping closer to the piano. Seems like you had a lot of fun back then. I did. If only I could turn back time. If I could turn back time. Dion was silent for a while as he contemplated the music. If I could find a way. So how did their mom die, though? I'm still not clear on that. Maybe we'll find out. Because they did say she died. They didn't say, like, Mom left one day, and then Dad was angry. Unless their dad could have lied to them about their mom dying. That's always a possibility, I suppose. Ah. Right. Royal's coming in, and he didn't actually find us under the bed, which I was quite surprised with. But, yeah, let's go to the wardrobe. That actually just reminds me, I'm surprised we never went to the attic in Dion's route, because he would hide up there a lot and contemplate the good old days, but we never actually found him there in his own route. Spotting the perfect hiding place, I pulled the wardrobe door open with one hand and stumbled inside, closing the door behind me. Dion's paw rested against my leg. I held my breath as I heard the door to Gold's room open. Without warning, Dion reached a paw out and opened the wardrobe door a crack. Dion, what do you think you're doing? We'll get caught! I want to see if Royal will do something different today. Something different? What did he mean by that? I bit back a retort. I had to admit that I was rather curious too. Tentatively, I peered out to get a better look. Royal was kneeling in front of Gold with an unreadable expression on his face, but his words were filled with emotion.
Gold, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Why is he... After another few minutes passed, Royal finally left the room. I stepped out of my hiding place when I was sure that he was not coming back. That guy, he does that every day. Sometimes I wonder why Gold hasn't gotten tired of hearing him say those words. How do you know? She just can't express. Assuming that she can hear us, that is. I wasn't sure what to make of Dion's words. They carried that gentle humor he used with Royal, but there was something sad in his voice, too. Dion, did something happen between them? Well, depending on what you mean by something. For starters, he's had a crush on her since we were young. Okay. Poor Gold, she's gotta listen to all this. I wasn't sure if Dion was even supposed to tell me this. It felt like I just discovered a really dark secret. If Royal knew, he would surely get angry. He promised her before that he would be her knight in shining armor. Stupid, right? Now he blames himself for Gold's curse because he couldn't protect her. He failed to fulfill his promise. Protecting the person you care about isn't stupid at all. I smiled to myself. There used to be people who protected me once upon a time. But now, I closed my eyes and willed the pain to go away. I am not about to burst into tears in front of Dion. That's later when he plays piano. I think it's rather sweet. I don't think I'd ever render him speechless, but there he was, staring at me with wide, surprised eyes. We should go. Before he finds us. He's got some pondering to do, does this bear. Okay, so after this, we're gonna meet the toy maker. Again. And then everyone's gonna change back except for Gold. What happens after that? Oh, right. There's an argument. That will happen, eventually. Alright, we talked to everybody first, and then Lily came to get us, Royal did things to my heart. And last time I talked to Dion, and that went rather well, I thought. So I'm interested to see what talking to Royal does this time around. I don't know which of these was the writer of the choices. But anyway, picking all the opposites now, so we should get the best ending, question mark? It's worked so far for me anyway. I stared at Royal's door, having this internal debate if I should really talk with him. I mean, it's been a while. I was pretty sure that he would only get angry with me. But then again, he was always angry at me, so it wouldn't make a difference. I raised my hand and was about to knock when I heard Lily. I thought she was in there. I'm like, how intriguing. Miss Sora? Oh, hi Lily. If you're looking for Royal, I just saw him in the library a while ago. I gave her a grateful. One grateful is equal to... I assume that's supposed to be smile. I gave her a grateful smile and prepared to dash down the halls. And Miss Sora? I stopped in my tracks when she called. There was a sad expression on her face. I hope he'll talk with you. I already tried, but he only pushed me away. I nodded in understanding. He pushed Lily, whom he's known for a long time, away, and would probably do the same to me. But I was determined. I wasn't no fainting flower like Lily. Royal? There was no answer. I searched the stacks and found him at the far corner, staring out the window. Royal, can we talk?
There's nothing to talk about, so just go ahead and leave.
But... I already expected him to refuse me, and no amount of pleading would make him talk with me. Then I remembered something that might make him talk. I know how to break the curse. Completely. This earned Royal's attention, and he finally looked at me. But to do it, I need your help. He gave me a skeptical look, and did not move for what felt like hours. Then, finally, he let out a sigh and leaned against the window frame.
Go on. I'm listening.
I told him what the toy maker said, about a troubled heart disrupting the toy maker's curse.
So Dion's inner turmoil has caused the locket to rust, and that's why it won't open.
I nodded. He's gonna be like, I gotta go punch some more sense in him now. I'm afraid so. I do know now that Dion was originally the heir, and that the title was given to Sol when their father thought Dion didn't deserve the title. But I know there's something more beyond that. Royal crossed his arms and looked away, his eyes distant and sad.
I'm in no position to tell you this. but for the sake of breaking the curse, I have no choice but to do so. When I first came here, the three of them were indeed very close, especially Dion and Lord Sol. But because of the responsibilities Dion had to fulfill, he hardly had any time to be with them. Their father was a cold and cruel man. You wouldn't have liked it when he was angry, for he tended to lash out at anyone, even if they were his own children.
You mean...
I saw Dion with new bruises every time he failed to do something. Especially when he abandoned his responsibilities just so he could spend time with Lord Sol and Gold. His brother and sister had no idea that he suffered so much from their father.
No wonder you guys are best friends. You saw the things he couldn't show his family. My eyes widened with shock, and I felt my chest getting heavy at the thought of Dion getting physically hurt by his own father. My vision began to blur, and I blinked back tears. You haven't told Sol and Gold? Royal shook his head.
No. I am only a household servant, and we are to keep our mouths shut about everything that we witness inside this house. And Dion also made me promise not to say anything to them, and I'm still bound to that promise even now.
Ah, Royal. So good at keeping promises. So what happened that night? Royal looked at me, hesitation clearly written on his face. I thought he was going to shoo me away again like he did last time, but I was surprised when he actually answered.
I only heard it from the other servants, and they said that Dion humiliated his father during a meeting with the other family heads. I don't know the other details anymore, just that after that night, their father announced Lord Sol to be the heir instead. And Dion started acting like an irresponsible son.
I could only imagine Dion suffering at the hands of his father and all the sacrifices he had made for Sol and Gold. Now I could understand why Sol would feel angry towards his brother. It's because Dion passed that heavy burden of being the Deluxe heir onto him without explaining the reason. But I was sure that there was a reason why Dion acted like that. I know how much he wanted to protect the both of them, so I was sure that he wouldn't burden Sol with that title, knowing what would happen to him at the hands of their father.
You're going to talk with Dion as well, right?
Yes.
Then, please tell him that it's about time everyone knew the truth.
What happened to both of you earlier?
Go and ask him yourself.
He started walking away, leaving me behind. Wait!
I know he will listen to the person he has fallen in love with.
Eh? I blushed hard at his words. You can't just say things like that.
It's hard not to notice it, especially when all he ever talks about is you and how special you are to him.
With one last look at me, he finally left the room, leaving me flustered and embarrassed with what he just told me. Man. Royal with the harsh truths? I shook my head and tried to calm my heart. I had to focus. Ugh, I'm trying to break a curse. Come on. Now all that's left was to talk to Dion. That boy right there. So is this the same? No, it's a little bit different because I can't skip. The scene from the garden was still fresh in my mind as I snuck toward Dion's room. At this rate, I was going to become the world's best at sneaking around at night. I rolled my eyes, imagining myself on a stage with the "Don't Wake Anyone Up" award before shaking my head at how stupid the idea was. What could I do with such an award anyway? Work as a thief? Ridiculous. Dion? Are you there? There was no reply. I was intent to complete my mission. I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay, I can't. I'm coming in. I pushed the door open and poked my head inside. I found him lying on his bed, his back facing me. Dion?
What do you want?
I winced at his unwelcoming tone. He didn't sound very happy. It was the first time he acted this way. Are you alright?
You're just like the rest of them.
I had no idea what he was talking about. Carefully, I stepped into the room and shut the door behind me. What do you mean I'm just like the rest of them?
You must think that I'm selfish.
Took a deep breath. I do. But then again, aren't we all selfish to some extent? I heard him sigh.
The fight was my fault. I told him to give up on my sister and move on, but then he got angry and said that I had given up hope. We don't even know if Gold is still alive.
I didn't know why, but anger suddenly rose within me. I marched around the bed and slapped his face. It was odd at that angle, but effective. I couldn't take this any longer. Listening to him give up hope like that? It was too painful. Yes, it's been 7 years, but Royal hasn't lost hope, right? Then you should do the same. You're Gold's trusted and beloved big brother, aren't you? Dion blinked and stared at me with amazement. He took a deep breath.
You do have a point, Aura. It's just that I failed her. And Soul. How can I still face her?
I struck his head with a chop.
Oh! What was that for this time?
You thought of something stupid again. Everyone is doing their best to live a normal life and hope that one day the curse will be lifted. You should do the same, not just for yourself, but for everyone else as well. Gold is alive and well, patiently waiting for that day. I just know it. Dion looked at me, his features finally softened.
You're right. You really are something, love. That's why I love you more each day. Thank you.
I looked away to hide my embarrassment. Dion sighed and flopped onto his back, staring at the ceiling.
You see, all this started with a stupid deal.
Eh?
I didn't want Soul and Gold to face the suffering I endured back then. That's why I did my best to please my father. I did everything he told me, even if they were against my principles. I've deceived so many people for his own personal gain. But I snapped that night. I just couldn't take it anymore. We were having a meeting with the family heads when my father announced that he would be offering Gold's hand to the most suitable man once she reaches the right age. Gold was only 10 at that time. She was still so young.
That's terrible.
I knew then that I couldn't just stand in the background while Father destroys our lives. I told everyone the monster he really was. This really infuriated him, and that's when he made a deal with me. I would take back everything I said about him, renounce my title as the heir, and make everyone believe how incompetent and unworthy I was for that title. Or else, he would marry Gold off to some man. And when Soul was training for the heir position, he would not hurt my little brother if he made any mistakes. I had no choice but to do it. I wanted to spare them from the pain I suffered.
I held Dion's hand to give him comfort and to let him know that I was here for him. He smiled and squeezed my hand. But I can't see the reason why you'd have to act like the irresponsible heir.
He wanted to make it appear as if I've deceived everyone, including himself, by acting as the perfect son so I could get the respect and power that I wanted. He needed the people to sympathize with him, and he got what he wanted. Soul was then named the new heir. He never knew the real reason why I was replaced, just that I was too irresponsible to be our father's successor. I feared that he'd also go through what I did, but our father kept his word and didn't hurt Soul. It no doubt helped that Soul was an obedient and kind person.
So this is the heavy burden he's been carrying for so many years, all for the sake of Soul and Gold. I didn't notice that tears had been flowing down my cheeks until Dion brushed them away with his fingers.
I'm not worth your tears, love.
You should have proved that you're not who everyone thinks you are. Dion gave me a sad smile, sitting up beside me.
I did, but the damage has been done. No one trusts me anymore, not even Sol. And why should he? I even ruined his dream of becoming a dressmaker. There was even a point that I was jealous of my own brother because I kept being compared to him. I didn't want to destroy what little bond we have left, so I avoided actually doing something. To avoid the comparison.
But still, your father is gone, Dion. You can now tell Sol the truth.
I can't.
Why?
Because he is a pure soul. If he knew about the truth, he would never forgive himself for letting me carry the burden alone.
I could not wait any longer. There was something Dion needed to hear. As much as it hurt to know my encouragement wasn't enough, I wasn't going to surrender. Okay, so I had to go through all of that so that I was like, in the moment when I could say, Royal has a message for you. Ugh. He said that it's about time you tell everyone the truth. Surprise washed over his features, quickly replaced by guilt. Royal, he told me a little about your past and the bruises you bear. No pun intended.
What?
Please, don't get angry at him. I was the one who insisted that Royal tell me about it.
That idiot.
Dion stared towards the door of his room.
Since that incident, I felt so alone. That's why I went to Royal for company. We may fight most of the time, but I'm really grateful that he didn't abandon me.
You're lucky to have a good friend like him.
I am. I really need to apologize to him tomorrow.
You better. Oh, a new picture. How cute. I reach for his hand and place it on my cheek. How come you didn't just place your hand on his cheek? That would have been better. You've always told me that the burden you carry is yours alone, but I'm willing to share that burden with you if it means making you happy again. It hurts to see you in pain like this, Dion. I want you, Sol, and Gold to be reunited once again, just like you used to be when you were still young. Dion closed his eyes, his face contorted in pain.
I don't know, Aura. I don't know if I'll still be able to fix this.
I know you can. I smiled at him. We gotta repair the bonds, my boy. It's the only way. And I'm still not sure about this one, but I'm picking opposite things. We'll see what happens if I agree with her. She might be like, oh no, I've scared her away from marrying this boy. I better backtrack. It's true that he's a troublemaker, but he reminds me of myself sometimes. I used to get into trouble myself when I was younger. That's why I know that there's one thing troublemakers have in common: their desire for attention. They want someone to acknowledge them in their existence. I haven't thought of it that way before. Oh no! We're putting ourselves in the same bucket. How cute. You may be right, Aura. I can't blame Dion entirely, especially after everything he went through with his father. She fell silent after that, a frown on her face as she pondered what I had said. Since you came here, I've slowly found a glimpse of that little boy I used to know. You really are a good influence on him, you know. I didn't do anything at all, Miss Maria. You have, Aura. You've given him hope. That's why I want you to take good care of him. I felt my face warm once again. What are you talking about? Miss Maria laughed and patted my head. I know he'll be happy with you, Aura. Pat, pat, pat. We'll leave it at that. Not have awkward conversations about what's your favorite menu item. Okay, nice and play music. I thought we were doing the smoochy thing, but I forgot about the music scene. Okay, we're doing the smoochy smooch now? Yes. Okay. And now he's gotta apologize. Gold's back. Okay, so we had a little bit of extra info with Royal. What is that going to affect? I wonder. Oh, right. This is probably a big moment in the story. Is kind of passive manipulation. Let him make his own decisions. Don't influence him either way. Just support him silently. I leaned my head against his back, telling him wordlessly that I was there to support him no matter what his decision would be. Nice. Well, that's the way. Dion's hand found my own and he squeezed it, letting me know that he understood my message. Yay! Finally, after what seemed like a lifetime passed, he gave Sol his answer. Very well, brother. Sol looked so relieved and happy. Being heir was a burden he had to carry for far too long, especially when it had been suddenly forced onto him like that. I'm sure that the family will flourish under your care. Just don't blame me if things go wrong. Dion spoke seriously, but there was humor in his voice. Don't worry, brother. I'll be here to back you up. This time, you won't be alone because we're all here for you. After talking to Sol, we headed back to Dion's room, but the way he was frowning as he walked really worried me. Dion, is something troubling you? You know me too well, love. Do I? Dion leaned closer and placed a kiss on my forehead. You do. It's just that... Was that really the right decision, Aura? I don't think I'll be able to take care of the family. What will the people think of me? I failed everyone once before. I placed a finger on his lips. You just have to do your best for the sake of the family's name, Dion. Your father isn't here to criticize you anymore. I know that you will do what is right. Dion smiled at me, his love vibrant on his lips. That's why I'm glad you're by my side, Aura. I feel lucky I was able to meet someone as amazing as you. Thank you for trusting me. Back there, I was really confused. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But when I felt you beside me, just the thought of you being by my side was all I needed to make my decision. I am used to people always telling me what to do. That's why you silently supporting me really meant a lot. It made me feel that you trusted me to make the right decision. Of course I trust you. Don't you ever forget that. Dion squeezed my hand. I love you, Aura. I love you too. Aw, you guys are so cute. So what's changing? My boy better not be working too hard. As time passed, news that the Deluxe curse had been broken began to spread through nearby towns like forest fire. When everyone found out that Dion was once again the heir, most were skeptical and questioned his ability to lead the family. But this didn't stop Dion. He worked tirelessly, showing everyone that he indeed deserved the position and that their father was wrong about him. The progress was slow, but after months of hard work, with Dion as the head, the family once again had great influence over the people and kingdom. The people started trusting him once again. He truly was the one meant to lead the family. He worked day and night for countless days in order to finish the paperwork that had piled up after their absence, and attending meetings with the locals to discuss what would be best for them socially and economically. I wonder how Dion is doing. He hasn't taken a single break since this morning. When I told him to do what he thought was right, I didn't mean shutting himself inside his room and working until he exhausted himself. I barely see him anymore, and I really miss him. I continued preparing dinner in the kitchen that I loved so much. I never became a famous chef at all, but I did become the family's best chef. Or so my new family told me. Just then, Gold and Lily came dashing in, their eyes shining. Aura! Come with us, quick! Did Dion and Royal get into another fight? Then again, they didn't look worried, so it couldn't be anything bad. But I'm not yet done. The food can wait, Aura. This is more important. Baffled by their sudden enthusiasm, I let Lily and Gold drag me out after them. After a few moments, I realized that they were leading me to the garden. I'm not getting married now, am I? What's going on? You'll see. It was then I noticed the rose petals scattered on the ground. They weren't randomly scattered either. It was as though they led somewhere. Lily grinned and gestured at the petals. Ta-da! There's a trail of rose petals. Just follow the trail, Aura. I frowned, wondering what on earth was happening. Maybe we're getting a proposal. Go on, Aura. There's a surprise waiting for you at the end of the path. She gave me a friendly nudge and, giving in to my curiosity, I followed the petals deeper into the garden. But not before glancing back at Gold and Lily, who both grinned at me in return. I hope this wasn't one of Dion's jokes. I continued walking, my breath caught in my throat when I saw who was waiting for me at the end. There stood that person who had stolen my heart. To me, he looked so perfect. Wow! You guys look fabulous. Yet so sad, but you both look beautiful.
I know I haven't been by your side lately with all the work I've been getting. I'm sorry for making you worry all the time.
Oh, I've been so worried, all right. I'm glad that you're taking your work seriously, but you have to take care of your body as well.
That's why I have you here with me, to take care of me and my body.
What? Dion. My face warmed up. Yes, Dion.
You're definitely fun to tease.
Dion squeezed my hand tighter.
You see, this is the real reason why I led you here.
My words were lost when he pulled out a beautiful ring from his pocket because he proposed before dressing you in your wedding dress, unlike some people in this family, Soul.
Remember what I told you when I was still a bear? I said that I would make you my wife. So now, please be mine, Aura. There's nothing I want more than to have you by my side forever.
You didn't have to ask that, Dion. Because I'm not planning to leave your side. You are my home now, Dion. I couldn't stop myself from bursting into tears as he slipped the ring onto my fourth finger, beaming at me with the most brightest and beautiful smile I'd ever seen. Nah, there you go. You guys look better now. Is there a ring actually there? There's a bit of a glow. Might be. Was it made of gold?
Thank you, Aura. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
I closed my eyes and let Dion's warmth wrap me up like a blanket. At this moment, I felt as though I were a princess who had found her ever after. The perfect ending I'd always dreamed of. Best end! Hooray! How interesting. Is there an epilogue by any chance? That was very sweet. There's all our three boys. How very, very interesting. I'm saying this is interesting because... Okay, so we got all of... Oh, that's the other picture. Okay, good. This picture has been gone for forever, and I'm like... What is it? Because it wouldn't let me look at... It still won't let me look at that anyway. But I can look at that. I was like, is there another storyboard picture that I'm not getting? But okay, everything is right in the world. We got all the pictures. I can rest easy. Phew, I was worried that I'd miss something. Now I can just enjoy these endings. Oh, that was so good. Well, that's Locked Heart, everybody. I loved this game. Thank you to everyone who recommended it. It's pretty neat, actually, having played this now. I can see how much Daisuke really improved as a, in developing games from this one till Cinderella Phenomenon. Their writing is impeccable, and their art is beautiful, as always. They just gotten better and better with that. But you could tell, like, here, the music doesn't transition as nicely as it does in Cinderella Phenomenon. There's a lot of, like, silent moments where the track ends and it, like, restarts again. And what else? Typo things. I don't remember there being any typos at all in Cinderella Phenomenon, actually. So they proofread a lot more now, and yeah. It's interesting to see the inspiration for a lot of things, like Royal. Definitely an inspiration for Varg / Fritz. And, oh, man, what's his name? I already forgot Dion. Dion is definitely the love child of Karma and Rumpel. Absolutely. It was really great, though. I had a great time with this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I'm trying to decide who I like the most. I feel kind of bad for Soul. I felt like he had the weakest of the roots. His felt very fast to me. Like, it just kind of moved along very quickly. And I guess it's just because he's a very kind vanilla boy. There wasn't too much drama going on with him. Oh, it is really... I'm torn, though. I'm actually torn between Royal and Dion. Like, Royal's more attractive, looks-wise. And also it's always very satisfying to get the tsundere to fall in love with you. But I also took him away from Gold, and that hurt my heart. I'm sad that he and Gold and Soul and Lily never ended up doing anything. Or Lily at least, like, finding a guy would have been nice, but no. That's so sad. Lily's gonna pine away forever for Soul. But Dion is such a fun guy, and he's definitely the kind of guy that I like, so I gotta give... No one's gonna be surprised. I don't have to... Yeah, you all know me by now. You know I'm gonna pick the nurses as bleh. Sue me. But it's definitely Dion, then Royal, very close second, and I'm sorry, Soul. You were lovely, but you gotta work on your stages of relationships. And not dress your girl in a wedding dress and just assume things. Gotta propose like your brother knows how to do things. That's why he's the better heir. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for joining me on this sugar-filled journey. I hope you guys enjoyed. But all the fun times are over, because now we're going into Horrorsville McGee in Doki Doki Literature Club. So, send me all your anti-stress ideas, because I'm probably going to need them after each recording. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah. Alright. I think I blathered I think I blathered so long the music ran out. Thank you for starting up again. So yeah, I hope I'll see you over there for shenanigans in Doki Doki, guys. Until then, I will see you later.